Hey everybody, it's Sam with Pro Wrestling Overtime. And a lot of you have wrote me and said, where you been? You talked to us and said July 1st. And we're hearing from you now on July 3rd. What's going on? Some of you wrote to check on me and say, we haven't heard about Forbidden Door. We didn't hear Blood and Guts. We haven't heard a prediction show for Money in the Bank. What's going on? Well, I told you guys that I would always try to be as upfront and truthful as I could. I also told you that if you sat down and truly listened to the previous podcast where I said that I was getting out of breaking news and all of that. One reason why is, just to be honest with you, I felt weird with some of my sources or where I get some of my information. Probably in the last 2 weeks or so. They didn't have a lot of details. There were times when I would text and they would text back and say, oh, that's changed. Didn't know any reasons or anything like that. And I really think that some of these people that I have relied on in the past, their roles have changed. I think in WWE right now, I think some of the people that were closer to Vince maybe aren't in the know. And I know some of you are saying, well, what does that mean? Well, I think part of it is to do with Vince is still over creative. He's still guiding, if you want to say, Stephanie and some of her decisions. But because they don't know who's going to talk, who's going to say what, when, I think the McMahons have kind of, for lack of a better terminology, kind of walled up. They put walls up, and people that were once close to the action and would overhear things or be part of meetings, maybe they're not now, or if they're in the meeting, people are being asked to stay after, and they are leaving and not knowing that things have changed. I know you're saying, what do you mean change? What are you talking about? Well, all week leading up to Money in the Bank, different people were telling me different things. Such and such is going to win. They're going to go with this particular storyline. I would then call or text someone else, say, is this true? And it was like deer in the headlights. They had not heard that, where in the past they could confirm it. They would tell me what they heard. So I'd go back to the first person. Have you heard this? They hadn't heard it. There was a lot of rumors going around, excuse me, that WWE was putting out certain information in order to know who leakers were. There are some people saying that that's what's happened to Raj Giri, Raj Girl on Twitter, that sources told him about Sasha Banks. They gave him an exact date, and he ran with it. Now they know who gave Raj that information. I don't want to get people in trouble. I really, really don't. So this week, it was hard for me to confirm a lot about Money in the Bank. Due to that, you didn't get an episode. You didn't get an episode talking about it. You didn't get an episode critiquing or analyzing Raw and SmackDown. Because I know you guys like little tidbits or when I go off on some fantasy booking. And I'm sorry I didn't go ahead and give that to you. I just felt with the situation, there were people that I needed to evaluate myself. If I would have gave you a Money in the Bank preview show or a predictions episode, I would have been 3-3. Now, you guys who have been listening to me a long time know that, yes, occasionally that will happen. Rarely. And like I said, I kind of had been seeing it coming for about 2 weeks. I never would have predicted Liv. Everybody up until probably 3.5 hours before the show were still telling me Becky Lynch. I had 2 different people telling me Alexa Bliss had been talked about. And when we saw very first match, Liv won, then I knew there were going to be some issues this whole night. And I'm glad I didn't put those out because a lot of you would automatically say, you don't know what you're talking about. You're not close to the action. You're not back there. Your sources suck. You only listen to Dave Metzler. All that. That's fine. If you guys want to say that, if you want to say you don't believe me, you want to say I am not close to action, I don't care. If you guys want to leave, that's fine. If you guys don't want to listen, I mean, I understand. Hopefully, from here on, you are going to get great podcasts, like I've said in the past, breaking things down, analyzing things, and where I think things are going. In the meantime, I have to evaluate people that I've been getting information from. And if that's sitting down and saying, has your position changed, your role changed, then I can do that. If it's their information sucks, then I need to quit talking to them and need to quit using them. And so that is what I've got to be able to evaluate. So that is the reason why you haven't been getting episodes. So the only thing that I can tell you and promise you is that I will give you my best. I will do my best to work everything out, to find out what I need to find out, and to give you guys the best information, the best analysis, the best reviews, the best what I think of the news. And there is a difference what I think of the news and what somebody's telling me. And like I said, when I said that Pro Wrestling Overtime was coming back on July 1st, I told you guys you're going to get more of what I think, more of my analysis than me relying on other people. And this is the reason, is because sometimes in life you can only rely on yourself. And so that is what we're going to be doing. I'm going to try to distinguish who I get things from. This is my thinking. This is what Dave Metzler is reporting. This is what whoever is speculating. This is what my sources say, or if I can name my sources, if they will allow me to do that, then I'm going to say this is what such and such has said. So that's where I stand. You guys obviously will let me know where you stand by your listening, by writing me. You guys know you can get a hold of me. I'm Pro Wrestling Overtime on Instagram. On Twitter, it's Pro Overtime, 2 O's, Pro Overtime. Facebook, Pro Wrestling Overtime. You can write me, prowrestlingot@gmail.com. You can go on theovertimenetwork.com and leave a message there, leave a comment there. There's all kinds of ways you guys can talk to me. I look forward to that. I look forward to talking to you guys. Hoping to have a live, possibly later tonight, maybe Monday morning. Not 100% sure. Gotta check in and figure out what's going on with my real job this week. You guys know this is not my real job. This is something I do part-time. Could it eventually turn into a full-time job? Who knows? Right now, not even thinking that. This is part-time. And so that's the reason why sometimes I get to you when I get to you. But anyway, look forward to me responding to you and giving you some future updates as far as reviews, things like that. Any WWE podcast episodes today would be a reaction to news. I don't know that necessarily we're going to do anything with WWE today. Probably the first thing you get on WWE will probably be sometime tomorrow. But today you may be getting NWA, MLW, Impact Wrestling. We may talk about Tessa Blanchard coming back to wrestling and making her debut 2 weeks from now, I guess. Less than 2 weeks from now. It's July 16th. We may talk about that. So you're going to be getting some episodes while I work WWE kind of out and figure some things out. So that's where we stand. I look forward to hearing from you guys. Don't be strangers. And I will talk to you soon. And hopefully I'll see you down the road.